Namaste children, welcome to my channel. Last session we have learned the price output determination under perfect competition, the long run situation and short run. So as it is related to long run and short run, it is related to one of the important features of perfect competition, that is freedom of entry and exit. Freedom of entry and exit. How the freedom of entry and exit is related to the normal profit, that we can learn. So, under perfect competition, in the long run equilibrium, under perfect competition, in the long run equilibrium, what happens? The two conditions are there. MR is equal to MC and AR is equal to AC, and therefore MR is equal to MC, AR is equal to AC, and it is equal to price. This is a condition what we get. So in the long run, you can see on the x-axis output, y-axis revenue and cost, and here AR, here MR and price, that you know. And drawing the long run average cost curve and long run marginal cost curve, and this is equilibrium point where they make a normal profit. OP is the price of the product, and at this point AR is equal to AC, MR is equal to MC. So of course AR and AC are equal, MR and MC are equal, and MR already equal to AR. We have learned in the when we have studied the AR curve, shape of the AR curve, and the features of perfect competition. We have seen AR is equal always. All units are sold at the same price. That is, the price is equal to AR and AR is equal to MR. And this is a long run equilibrium. Suppose they make abnormal profit, and if they make incur loss, what will happen? How they are reaching to the normal profit? That is a point here we are going to study, or the question may come like that: what are the implication, or what is the implication of freedom of entry and exit, or explain any two features with its implications. So implications of freedom of entry and exit, you have to explain this way. If the firm is making abnormal profit, what will happen? So of course the same way equilibrium condition we can find out. MC, AC, AR, MR is output, and is here y-axis. What is it? We are drawing cost and revenue curve. So here you can see cost and revenue. Not always like that. In demand and supply it will change. On the x-axis price will come, and y-axis demand and supply will come. Here the demand will come and y-axis price will come. But in revenue and cost curves, what we are drawing here, the same thing will come on the y-axis. So that is a easy thing you have to remember. And output. So this is the equilibrium we got, and last session we have studied this is the profit. We are getting abnormal profit. So E1, OP is the price, OP1. So this is the profit the firm is making. So as the firm is making profit, abnormal profit, what will happen? Some of the new firms will enter into that industry. Yes, when new firms are entering into the industry means some new firms are going to produce the same commodity. So when the new firms are going to produce the same commodity, what will happen? Yes, we can see that that we can explain with the help of a diagram. Yes, new firms are entering means that production of, suppose it is production of X. Production of X will increase. When production of X increases, that means supply will increase. When supply increases, what will happen to price? Price will come down. When price comes down, the AR will also comes down. Price and AR. Price is equal to AR is equal to MR, MR is equal to price. So it will come down. Okay, so the AR and MR that will come down like that. Then what happens to cost? What will happen to cost? Cost, in case of cost, several new firms are producing the same commodity X. So they needed the same raw material, they needed the same type of technicians, they needed the same type of land or whatever additional factories they needed, the demand for those inputs will increase. Those inputs used for the production of X will increase. So of course it means that the demand for inputs will increase. That means cost will increase. So cost increases. As it is factors of production, we say cost. Really, prices of raw material, prices of fuel, whatever related to that will increase because of enough demand. Because new firms are reaching there to produce that. So cost will increase. So what will happen? The cost curve will shift to the upwards and revenue curve will shift to downwards. That is happening here. So corresponding to that, we can see with this help of diagram itself, we can see this revenue curve is coming down and the cost curve is shifting upwards. See that, and in the long run they will make a only normal profit. In the short run also it will make, there is a possibility there. Why we are talking in the long run? Long run only the fixed cost will change like the variable cost. So in the long run, let's see, and LMC, long run average cost curve and long run marginal cost curve will times into each other and they will make only normal profit. And suppose they are incurring loss. What will happen? Suppose they are incurring loss, what will happen? Yes, we have learned that some of the firms will leave the industry. Some of the firms will leave the industry means that they will stop production of the commodity. They will stop production of the commodity. So, for example, here we can again draw how the firm is incurring loss. Yes, children, how the firm is incurring loss, what you have to do? Yes, you have to draw the average revenue curve little below and you have to draw the cost curve like that. Cost curve. And this is a technique how to make the minimum point of average cost curve should lie the average revenue line. It will be easier for you to draw when the firm is incurring loss. Cost, revenue, OP is the price of product. Yes, find out the minimum point. Only through the point MC will go through. So, yes, we got MC and MC cuts MR. This is one of the condition. The shorter MR is equal to MC. So, this is AR is equal to MR, also MR. So, corresponding to that, draw the line OM level of output S. Equilibrium E, E1, P1. This is the loss incurred by the firm. Because we have learned this much is cost. Yes, this much is cost and this much is average revenue. So cost is greater than revenue. So this is a norm. This is the loss incurred by the firm per unit. E1 is the loss incurred by the firm per unit, and so the total loss is PE1 P1. So what will happen? This is not profitable to exist there. So some firms will stop production and some firms will bid goodbye and they will move. So of course here what happens? We can draw another curve to show what is happening in that industry. Industry means several firms constituting the same product producing is known as industry. And so here some firms are leaving the industry. When some firms are leaving the industry means supply of X will decrease, when supply of X, this is the industry which is producing commodity X, supply of X will decrease, then price of supply of X is decreasing means price of the commodity is increasing. When a commodity becomes scarce, the price will increase. So the price of the commodity will increase. That means that average revenue will increase. Average revenue will shift upwards. And that means this average revenue line, this way also we can write. Instead of AR is equal to MR, this way also we can write. In some of the textbooks we can find this way. That some reference textbooks you can see this way also we can draw the AR curve and write. And here we can see that supply of X is decreasing, price of X is increasing, and AR is average revenue is increasing. As average revenue is increasing, we can shift the average revenue upwards. So average revenue curve will rise upwards. Then what happens to cost? Cost. Several firms are leaving the industry, so we don't want that raw material, we don't want that type of technicians, we don't want that type of skilled labor, so their demand will decrease. So of course the demand is the demand for the cost of production, demand for the inputs, demand for the inputs decreases, demand for the inputs decreases, so we can see that the cost will come down. The cost will come down. Less demand only for the inputs, so cost will come down. So AC curve will shift to downwards. So AC is to downwards and AR curve is shifting to upwards. So AC downwards and AR upwards. So you can see that a condition, they will reach a point where you can see that the cost curve is coming down, and in long run we can see that only the industry is making normal profit. Normal profit. So new firms will enter into the industry earlier when they were making profit, but in loss. Some firms will leave the industry. So the price of inputs will come down, the prices of skilled labor will come down, and whatever related to that type of particular production, inputs cost will decrease, that is cost of production will decrease, and the supply, what happens to that supply will decrease, you know that, so the average revenue will increase. Why the average revenue is increasing? Supply decreases, price will increase, and average revenue will shift upwards. And as the new firms, as some firms are leaving the industry, cost will come down. So you know that at last the industry may be making profit, normal profit. So I hope you understood. So in the long run, AR is equal to MR. So long run equilibrium condition is that, MR is equal to MC is equal to AC is equal to AR is equal to price. This is long run equilibrium condition, and short run equilibrium condition, only one point, MR is equal to MC. So this is the equilibrium condition of the firms under perfect competition, where they are getting maximum profit, where equilibrium means that from that place they don't want to change. So we have studied price output determination in the short run. In the last session we have studied the long run, also we have studied. Now how in the short run, what happens in the long run, that we have studied with the help of freedom of entry and exit. I hope you understood. Thank you, children.